Hello everyone. I want to show you something interesting research about the Two Way Anova. So Two Way Anova is can be run to decrease the type 1 error. That means too much test show the significance. In fact, in reality, that is not so significant. So to reduce this type 1 error, we can decrease the number of analysis. So many one-way ANOVA and the t-test. Instead of that, we can run the only one test, two-way ANOVA, with the two independent variables and the one dependent variable. So today video will show that the research you can interpret regarding the two-way ANOVA research. Sometimes the independent variable cannot be significant, but the interaction can be significant, and how you can interpret this. So here we have data. We can use the independent variable, the sex, and also uh, interview, overview. Yeah, and then another variable will be a training control. So training method are three things. And then the gender will be the men and women. There are two things. So we will mobilize these two independent variable to test about how they influence about the this one is appraisal scores. Okay. So for this, you will go to analyze and general linear model univariate. And then I already put the variables. So the appraisal score is dependent variable, and then the sex and then the training will be independent variables. So here you can check the plot with the sex horizontal, training separate lines and add, and then this time training horizontal, sex separate lines add. So you can compare the two graphs to find more information. And then post hoc, you will be the training will be post hoc with the LSD option. Then continue. And then the options, you will check the descriptive, estimate, and then homogeneity of test. Continue, and then you can run the test. So when you do the OK, that will show the in your output. Okay, with this I already run the test. So here you can find the between subject factors, and then now this one is important to report. This is descriptive statistics. So you can see here the general mean score and the standard deviation um, in the men and the women, and also the here this is depending on the method. So you will have this information from descriptive table, and then the Levin's test shows that it's significant. So this means that we have to interpret the another option when homogeneity is not assumed. So be careful of this. Levin's test shows the significant level and means that homogeneity was not assumed. Okay, now between subjective facts table here, you can see that sex is not significant. Training, yes, it's a significant, significantly different. And then sex and training interaction is significantly different. So you can see here what I said in the beginning. Two-way ANOVA that decreases the type 1 error shows that the gender is no significant difference between two groups, men and women. However, training, yes, that makes a difference about the appraisal scores. And then the interaction between the gender and the training also then makes it. So what that means, we can see that in the post hoc where it happens, in fact, it's everywhere. So control and the emotional training and the control cap training, and also the emotional intelligence and also psych cap. So you have the all this information about the comparison between the two. So all of them, they are significant levels. So in the plot, we can see visually that when it comes to three different training in men and women. For men was a big difference between the emotional intelligence and then psych training about appraisal scores. Psych was a much higher appraisal score, and the men and women, they have some difference, but it's not significant. So we can see that in the men and women. they chose different ways of research according to the different methods. And also here you can see that men had much lower scores than women in terms of the emotional intelligence training. So when women had the emotional intelligence training, they have a much higher appraisal score. Um, this means that in fact when training varies. Depending on the training method, the men and women they show the very different scores. So that's why, in fact, the interaction that between the sex and training methods can make a big difference. So here, in fact, we can check that by that kind of type 1 error. So if we do only the men and women, the t-test, by the two groups, that shows that here two-sided P is significant. So this means that when you run the t-test separately, you can say that the gender significantly affects the appraisal score. So they have a significant difference between men and women about appraisal score. And the effective side also shows that it's very higher. But this independent t-test, and also when you control your training score, also that shows that or when about the control method, that shows the significant that shows the sex is not significant. And then about this training emotional intelligence, that shows that here the sex is significant. So about the emotional intelligence, yes. And then about the training, PSY, psi cap, that is here, the sex is showing a significant difference. So in fact, the gender doesn't affect the control method. About the control method, they have the mean value 85, 81. So that's why the difference is not significant. So I think that is a reason why in the two-way ANOVA, when you run the all together, um, that shows the in fact here, yeah, sex is not significant, and the training, yes, and then when it becomes the interaction, that becomes significant. So I think this is a reason as sex doesn't show the significant difference in the control method, that shows the significance is not a significant level. And then training, yeah, that is everywhere, it is significant, so it's very significant. And then when it becomes the interaction, as a training is very significant. And also in the intelligence, emotional intelligence, and also psych were significantly different in the men and women. Not only the control part was not. So that's why, in fact, the interaction becomes now significant. So this was about the interpretation of the two-way ANOVA when you obtain the main effect, one dependent variable is not significant. However, the interaction becomes significant. So thank you for your listening. Thank you.